Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about guitarists. There are so many people who play guitar, and there's all different types from electric to acoustic, and then different styles. We have classical, and we have rock, and we have singer-songwriters, and we have people who are amateurs and people who are professionals. We have jazz. This workout is going to be done with little to no equipment. I'm going to show you some options if you don't have anything, and some options if you do have something. If you have anything, a miniband is all you need. This folds up into almost nothing. You can take it with you in your gig bag. It folds in your back pocket. You can throw it, not your gig bag, your guitar case. You can keep it with you. This is great to do backstage, in the middle of your practice session. This is a corrective exercise workout, so it's going to address the most common compensations that I see. So it prevents you from getting injured, hopefully. So what we're going to talk about when you play, and I'm going to go at this from a right-handed guitarist perspective. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the bigger muscle groups, not so much in the forearm and the wrist today. We're going to be talking more about chest, shoulder, back, neck, that kind of thing. So the first thing that I see with guitarists is a tendency to want to do this kind of business. So I want to hunch a little bit and bring the arm that is playing, that is strumming, to come forward, right? And what we want to do, these muscles right here, these are called your upper traps, your shrug muscles. These muscles, and then the front of your shoulder. Those muscles tend to get really tight, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch those, and if you have a foam roller, I'm going to show you what to do. We have a lot of different options for using the foam roller when it comes to guitarists, but the one that you're probably going to like the most is rolling out your upper back, your thoracic spine. All you need is this little guy. It's about 1 foot long, weighs almost nothing. So we're going to use that for your upper back, all right? And then we are going to stretch things out, okay? Then we're going to follow that with a couple of mobility exercises and some strengthening exercises, right? So this is how we do it. If you have a foam roller, what I want you to do is you're going to put that right at the base of your shoulder blades. Put it right at the base of your shoulder blades. You're going to let your head rest in your hands, okay? You're not pulling, you're just letting it rest. Okay, let it rest. Put your elbows in front of your face. Lift up, and you're going to go roll back and forth. A few times. You don't want to go any lower than the base of your shoulder blades, okay? And you're going to plant your butt on the ground and lean backwards. Hopefully your head can touch the ground. Get a little bit more mobility. If you need to change, too low, too high, you change to where it needs to go, okay? So that should feel really nice. Also, a note, I have a lot of clients that want to put the two of those together, okay? So, those are two separate things. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch out your upper back, okay? Not your upper back, your shoulder. So this is really easy. So if you've got, all you need is a wall. No biggie, right? You're going to take this arm and put it right behind you. Thumb side down. If you don't have a wall, you can use a door. Okay, you're going to go just like this. Put it behind you. Oh, twist away. If that doesn't work, like you don't have a wall or you just have a door, it would look like this. You're going to put your hand up against the door and twist away. Ooh. And just stretch, okay? What we're going to do is you're going to stretch out your bicep. Stretch here. You should have feeling that both of these are nice and tight, so just make sure your knees aren't locked and hold that for 30 seconds. If you're getting kind of tingling in your hand, back off a little bit. Okay, you're not coming forward, you're just twisting out. And you can try this on both arms. More than likely, you're going to feel it in the strumming arm, okay? So we're going to do that for 30 seconds, okay? The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do some activation exercises. Oh, wait. I just forgot. Upper traps, okay? If you find that you tend to do this and this is how you stretch, okay? You put your right arm in your, the small of your back, and I want you to look straight ahead. Bring your head, your ear, to your left shoulder. This way, okay? And I don't mean look up. Look straight ahead. I want your ear going to your shoulder. You're going to pull your shoulder towards the ground. Look straight ahead. pull your ear to your shoulder until you feel a stretch here. If you look up, which most people tend to do that, you'll feel it here in your SCM, which is fine, but we're going here. You don't want to look down either. Straight across, pull down. You can do that for 20, 30 seconds, whatever feels nice, okay? From there, we're gonna go into some activation exercises. So, I'm gonna show you the options for if you have a mini band and if you don't have a mini band. So if you don't have a mini band, one of the things that you can do is called a scaption. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull your, give me a shoulder roll, right? You'll roll those shoulders back and down and then hold them there, okay? And then I want you to come up in a Y. You're gonna give me a thumbs up, and we're gonna pull up, just like that, okay? Obviously, if you have some weights, that's great, but if not, you can do this no problem, right? Keep those shoulders down and pull up, because if you just come up, this is no big deal. We can do this all day, right? And then you have a tendency to do this. We're trying to avoid that. So if you pull down, pull in, woo, it should be a lot harder, okay? You want to make it even more difficult, stand on one leg. You're probably going to feel ridiculous doing that backstage though. So just give it a shot. All right, 10 to 15 of these, nice and slow. Keep those shoulders down. And you're not trying to come way up here. Just about shoulder height. If they're easy, we can turn that into a prone Y exercise. Prone meaning this way, okay? What you're going to do, you're going to put your fingers in your hip joint just to make sure we hinge correctly, okay? From here to here, your spine should be one piece, okay? We're not going to do this or this. We're going to move as one piece. So I want you to push your hips back, roll them back, come up into a narrow V. Looks like this, okay? Squeezing those shoulders back. But now instead of just coming up, we're also fighting gravity. You should feel this right here in the middle. And if this is not difficult, you're not doing it right. Woo. 5 to 10 to 15 if you can do those. Okay, now if you do, if that feels great, another one you can do, you can go straight from Y's to T's. Ooh. 10 of these, and each one of these, call it 1, so this would be 3. Squeezing those shoulder blades down the whole time. 4, 4, that kind of thing, right? All right, so if you do have a mini band, here are some exercises that you can do, okay? So if you do, you're gonna take this mini band, and you want a really light one. So if you don't have a mini band, you can use a TheraBand and like wrap around and make a little loop with it. You need a wall. Preferably, I'm short and I have a short wall. So if you're tall, you obviously need a taller wall, okay? Obviously. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put this right over your wrists, okay? Not on your hand, but here. So you're gonna push out. It's gonna look like this. You're gonna push out and come up. So, up against the wall, push out just like this, and push up. Make sure I'm not dragging on that. Push out, and push up. And you're gonna come forward as you go up. Now, if you find yourself locking your knees, make sure your belly button's in. So squeeze your butt. You don't wanna lock your knees, okay? So, just like this. Whew. As many of these as you can do. If you start to feel it up here, make sure you're rolling those shoulders down, okay? Here and up. All right, so 5 to 10 of those, okay? And then after that, we're gonna do something called a one-leg psoas march. Now, you don't have to use a mini band, but if you do, it's more, I wouldn't say it's more effective, but it's harder to do. So, this is more for my classical guitarists. And if you find this is easy, you don't need to do it. But if it's not easy, that could indicate a weakness. So, the psoas is a muscle that goes like a hip flexor in the front. It goes up behind your intestines, and it connects on your low back, okay? So, it flexes you this way, and it also flexes you this way. So we've got this flexion and this flexion. And for my classical guitarists, y'all tend to lift one leg, right? So you're not lifting one leg, you're propping it on the little footstool, right? So if we're doing this, your posture is usually great, but doesn't that create the possibility for a hip imbalance? just to make sure we don't get one, you're going to do what we call a one-leg psoas march. And I'll show you the version you can do lying down if you're at home. You don't need this, but I'll show you how to do it both ways. So, what you're going to do, say I'm a right-handed player. My left leg comes up. That's the one that's propped, right? What you're going to do is do the right leg. So you're going to stand. If the left leg is the one you usually prop up, you're going to stand on the left leg. I want you to pull your belly button in so we get this. Instead of this, you pull in, we get more of a neutral position. You're going to stand nice and tall with your hand on your hips and lift one leg. I want you to flex your foot, try to make it as flat as possible. We don't want this business going on, okay? So we're here, we're going to lift up and back down, up and back down, just like that. Making sure to keep this in nice and strong, okay? If you have a miniband, you're not going to go as far, obviously. What you're going to do is you're going to put this around your toes. You might want to be next to a wall for this, for balance. So what you're going to do, pretend I have it next to a wall. What you're going to do, same thing, but right around your feet. And y'all can't see this, so looks like this. One foot, the other foot. So it's got it more around the mid feet, right? Same thing, hold, balance, up and back down, up and back down. Like this, remember, squeeze, up, back down. Okay, you should feel it right here. And if you get some kind of a popping or a snapping sensation in the front of the hip, could be kind of tight, might not be so great for you. If it's difficult, it's a good thing, okay? Try it on both legs, 10 to 15, see how that feels. Here's how you do it. If you don't, if you want to do it on the floor, here's the other option for you, both with and without a miniband. Looks like this. So, without a miniband, you're going to lay flat on your back. Right? Lay flat on your back. With both legs straight out, okay? Okay, so your legs are going to be like this. With the band, you're going to put it around your feet, just like we had it before. You're going to draw your belly button in, come up, and back down. Just go to the point where it's difficult, okay? Again, 10 to 15 of those, and let me know how it goes, fam. It's good to see you all today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me.